Hey Womblers, this week we're off to Charing Cross. If you're new here, then welcome. My name's Emmy and this is Project Womble. I'm on a mission to visit and explore all 272 stations on the London Underground. I visit each station and then I report back my findings. I love London, I love history, I love architecture, I love all the little nooks and crannies and side streets. I'm not a professional guide, I'm not a qualified historian, I just love London and I love exploring. I explore everywhere on foot, I don't even own a car. I love all the rat runs and little passageways. So yeah, come with me and let's explore our station of the week. I do new stations every single Monday. Charing Cross is a very central station and it's where you need to get off if you want to go to Trafalgar Square. Here's our station summary. So we're a Zone 1 station. There's 6 platforms, but only 4 are in use. I'll talk to you about that later. It opened in 1906. It's in the local authority area of Westminster and it serves the area of the West End. It's got 2 lines, the Bakerloo line and the Northern line. And there's 4 Monopoly board squares nearby. Trafalgar Square, Pall Mall, the Strand and Northumberland Avenue. So let's go check it out. There's some lovely unique artwork down there. This is footage taken off the Bakerloo platform. There's all sorts down there. Murals, maps, artwork. It's great. It's definitely worth having a look. A lot of it is down to the fact that you've got the National Portrait Gallery there, the National Galleries nearby, Trafalgar Square's nearby. There's a lot of footfall for tourists coming in. So they've obviously, made the actual platform itself really interesting to look at. And I'm here for it. I like it. When it originally opened in 1906, it was actually called Trafalgar Square, and it's called Charing Cross now. That's what we know it as. But to be honest, Trafalgar Square makes more sense, especially for tourists, because that's where it is. Anyway, normal kind of concourse inside, ticket hall, labyrinth, pretty run of the mill. But as you come out the steps, you're out smack bang on the middle of the Strand. So you've got the Strand up that way, and then as the camera spins round, you've got Trafalgar Square right there. There are a couple of exits, but each one pops you out pretty central. And I like this station. I do. I use it quite a lot. If I'm going to Covent Garden, this is where I'll come. I'll come here and walk because I just haven't got time for the Covent Garden lifts and the station. And this just gets me out where I need to be. So I'm a big fan. I use Charing Cross quite a lot. Here's our trusty Go Jauntly map. For our little walk today, we're going to start at Charing Cross station and then we're going to go up the Strand for a little bit, wiggle around some back streets, head back on ourselves towards the National Gallery in Trafalgar Square, have a little walk round there, and then we're going to go up more towards Leicester Square, do some blue plaque spotting, back on ourselves, down Northumberland Avenue, around some cute little passageways and then up back onto the Strand. So let's do it. As ever, you can download these maps and walks from the Go Jauntly app. Not sponsored, I just like it. Okay, straight out the gate, we've got this beautiful Oscar Wilde statue. It's called A Conversation with Oscar Wilde by Maggie Hamlin. This was unveiled in 1998. We'll go and see one of Oscar Wilde's old houses later on when we do some blue plaque spotting. But here's his statue and it's inscribed with a quote from his play Lady Windermere's Fan. We're all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars. Just along from there, you've got Coutts Bank, which was founded in 1692, and it's the 8th oldest bank in the world. You have to be pretty rich to bank in here. Angela Burdett Coutts, she was like the daughter of the guy that set the bank up. She's an interesting woman, and upon receipt of her inheritance, she became the wealthiest woman in England. But she did an awful lot for charity and she gave away an estimated £4 million in her lifetime, which is an incredible amount of money for Victorian times. She's a really interesting woman, definitely worth looking up. Okay, from the Strand, we're going to cut down Ager Street and then head up William IV Street on the way down to the back of St Martin's in the Field. And then we're going to stop off at the Crypt Cafe for a cuppa. I love the Strand, but I definitely recommend heading off onto some of these side roads because they're absolutely beautiful and they're much quieter. I mean, the architecture is absolutely amazing. Just look at them. Just look up. It's beautiful. This is St Martin in the Field. This is a Grade 1 listed neoclassical church built in 1721 by James Gibbs. But there's been a church on this site since at least the medieval period. This whole area of London was fields, which is why it's called St Martin in the Fields. But the earliest reference to this church is from 1222, so there's definitely been a church on the site for a long time. But a little hidden gem is this cafe in the Crypt. I mean, this is only about 30 years old, but if you go down in this glass vestibule thing here, you get down into like a little cafe in the Crypt, which is absolutely beautiful. It's a lovely place to sit and have tea and cake. It's got brick vaulted ceilings. It's quiet down there. They've got a really lovely little bookshop. I love, like a little gift shop. I love a gift shop. And you can find some little gems down there. So I highly recommend popping in and having a little visit. From St Martin in the Fields, we're going to cross over into Trafalgar Square. I'm sorry if the audio sounds a bit off. I'm just getting over a cold, so I'm a bit gravelly, so I do apologise, but I'm trying to keep up with my posting schedule, my weekly schedule, so I'm going to put it up anyway. Okay, here we are at the National Gallery. This was established in 1824. It's free to get in, and there's a great gift shop inside, and it houses a collection of over 2,000 paintings dating from the mid-13th century to 1900. There's loads to see in there. There's Turner's, Van Gogh sunflowers in here. I took my son to see it. Got Rembrandt's, Da Vinci, Monet's. One of my favourites, this is a beautiful, massive portrait of King Charles I on his horse. And it's really big. And I just find myself staring at it for some reason. I love it. And here we are in Trafalgar Square, one of my faves. It's regarded as the official centre of London. And this is where they measure all distances from. I'm particularly fond of Trafalgar Square because this is where my husband asked me to marry him. So it holds some personal significance for me. But I love it. It's touristy. I know it is. But I just really like the vibe. I'm a big fan. You can see Nelson's column there, which is a victory column to commemorate the victory at the Battle of Trafalgar. I filmed this in November. But 12 days before Christmas, there will be a Christmas tree that will go up because every single year Norway donate a Christmas tree to us and have done since 1947 because we were their allies in World War II. In Trafalgar Square, there's also the fourth plinth. This was a plinth that remained empty for years and years and years. And then in 1999, they decided that they were going to do art installations and put a different installation on there every year. So the first one in 1999 was Mark Wallinger. He's the guy that does the labyrinths on the underground. You know, I'm always showing you those labyrinths. Mark Wallinger does those. And then the one for this year is Antelope. I would highly recommend looking up the YouTube commentary on this and the artist's narrative on the work because it is really interesting. Here we've got a closer look at Nelson's column. Nelson's column is actually guarded by 4 lions. These were added in 1867 and each lion weighs 7 tonnes. Imagine that. And then just opposite there, you've got tucked away a little landmark that nobody ever notices, which is London's smallest police station. How cute is this? Trafalgar Square is known for its protests and it's always been a site of protests, and so they put this little police station here to lock people up. I mean, it's not used now, but it's an interesting little landmark. Okay, that's pretty much us done in Trafalgar Square, so we're going to head out of the square now and head up towards Pall Mall, get some Monopoly sticker scores and then go up Whitcomb Street and go on the hunt for some blue plaques because there's loads up that way. Right, we're now on Whitcomb Street where we've got our first blue plaque, which is Sir Mortimer Wheeler. I love these side streets. I love the houses and I love the fact you can always find a blue plaque tucked away. Here we've got Tom Cribb's pub on Panton Street and there's a blue plaque above that. I don't know if you can make it out, but it's definitely there. Tom Cribb, this is the old boxing club. Panton Street gets us out onto Haymarket, which I love. I love this street. If you look up on this street, you'll just see all these beautiful Georgian buildings. You've also got Her Majesty's Theatre here, which is where they have Phantom of the Opera. I've watched Phantom of the Opera here. Highly recommend. And then just off of there is Suffolk Street. Suffolk Place and then Suffolk Street. This is an absolute gem. There's beautiful houses down here and there's like 4 blue plaques in one street. It's amazing. Okay, first blue plaque, Richard Cobden. Next blue plaque, Oscar Wilde. Second time we've seen Oscar in this little journey. We saw a statue of him earlier on the Strand. Third blue plaque, Richard Dad. What a great little street. Imagine living down here. Okay, from the side streets, we're going to get back on the main drag, get back on Pall Mall, go down Coutts Street on our way back to Trafalgar Square and just have a little look at Admiralty Arch. Okay, here's Admiralty Arch. What an absolute state. They are renovating it, they're doing it up, they're converting it into a hotel. But if you look through that gap, you can just about make out, you can see down to the Mall there. But yeah, it's a mess. What can I do? I can just show you what I saw on the day. It's normally really, really stunning, really elegant, but not today. Okay, almost done. We're just going to cross over that big scary roundabout and then head down Northumberland Avenue. Famous Northumberland Avenue from the Monopoly board. Okay, here we are at the famous Northumberland Avenue. So we get a Monopoly sticker for this one. I love Northumberland Avenue. It's a beautiful tree-lined avenue and the architecture is absolutely stunning. And actually, it doesn't really get that busy. It's not that touristy down here. And the Waterstones bookshop there is really nice. But anyway, the reason we're going down here is because we're headed towards the Sherlock Holmes Pub. It's a Victorian themed pub, and then upstairs they've got like a little museum with a load of memorabilia related to Sherlock Holmes. All of the memorabilia was part of the Festival of Britain, and it's all been moved over here, and there's like a replica of his apartment installed upstairs, so that's pretty cool. And then from there, we're going to head down Craven Passage onto Craven Street. I love all these little passageways. I highly recommend coming down here just for the passage alone because it's got Dickensian vibes. It's really cool. And as soon as you land in Craven Street, you've got this house, number 36, which is Benjamin Franklin's house. It's Grade 1 listed and it's a museum now. It's a former residence of Benjamin Franklin and it's the only remaining residents. All the other ones in America and so on have gone. This is the last one standing. I like Craven Street. It's in central London, but it's kind of tucked away. There's some gems down there. This is a gem. This is the Ship and Shovell. Shovell, named after Cloudsley Shovel. I mean, what a name. Let's all bring back Cloudsley as a Christian name. Don't you just love it? It dates back to 1731. It's Grade 2 listed and it's unusual because it's split across both sides of a passageway and there's a tunnel underneath where they've got the kitchen. Definitely got Dickensian vibes. Apparently it's haunted as well, but looks like a lovely old pub to me. And then from there we're going to head back up Craven Street, which pops us back out on the Strand, and that's it. Tour complete, but let's have a quick look at the Strand. I love the Strand. It's always been a major thoroughfare and I'll look at this in more detail when I do Embankment because it's got a lot of history and there's been some real famous faces living at addresses down here. And here we are back at Charing Cross station. I mentioned earlier that there's 6 platforms but only 4 are in use, and that is because it used to be on the Jubilee line and it's now not. So those 2 disused platforms are now rented out and used for TV and film, and there's been lots of famous films filmed down there, like Skyfall, for instance, Mission Impossible, I believe. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I hope you enjoyed that tour of Charing Cross. I'm a big fan of Charing Cross. I don't normally like the really touristy areas of London, but for some reason I really like Trafalgar Square and Charing Cross. And so I hope I was able to capture that for you and show you some of the, little gems that are off the beaten track a little bit. I do new tours every Monday. I'm on Instagram and I'm on YouTube. I don't have that many subscribers on YouTube. I've got quite a lot on Instagram, but not so many on YouTube. And I'm trying to get to 1,000 because when I get to 1,000, I can monetize, which will be fab. I'm not here for the fame or the fortune, but I am a lowly paid civil servant and it would be nice to monetize just so I can pay for my Oyster card top-ups. So if you got value out of this, please give me a like. And if you're enjoying the project, then please subscribe because I've only got 70 subscribers. Thank you.